If you're in the fire right now, this message is for you. If you're not, you can keep scrolling because this isn't some motivational speech. It's not stay strong garbage, and you're not going to get some fake smile faith. I'm talking to the ones whose life is actively collapsing, the ones who wake up tired, the ones who are handling pressure so heavy that you can feel it in your teeth, the ones who are still barely moving and yet they feel dead inside. And here's the truth that nobody's told you out loud. Sometimes that fire isn't random. Sometimes it's not just an attack, and sometimes it's not just punishment. Sometimes it's exposure, because what you had built your life on couldn't hold weight, and you didn't know it until the weight showed up. You thought you had a foundation, you had routines, you had beliefs, and you had people around you. Then life hits you hard enough that you find out what was actually there. And the worst part's this: it's lonely. Not the I'm bored kind of lonely. I mean the kind of lonely where you can scream and break and nobody will hear you and comes to your rescue. The kind of lonely where the people who should understand you don't. The kind of lonely where you can be surrounded and out in a crowd and still feel absolutely alone. And you'll start doing the math in your head. How did I get here? What did I miss? Why am I the one getting crushed? You'll replay everything, every mistake, every betrayal, every decision, and every warning that you ignored. That's the fire, and it forces honesty, because the fire will strip the fake version of you, that version that could hide behind a job or a relationship or a distraction, a church routine, or just a dopamine hit. But in the fire, all that gets burned, and all that's left is you, the real you, and the truth, and the question that you can't run from anymore. What do you actually stand on? Because pain doesn't just hurt, it reveals. And when your foundation cracks, you have two options. You can numb yourself, or you can rebuild. And I don't mean rebuild with slogans, but rebuild with something that holds. And for me, that meant going back to the source, not somebody's opinions, not traditions or vibes, the text, the actual structure. Because when your life is falling apart, you don't need inspiration. You need something that doesn't move when everything else does. So let me say this as clear as I can. The fire does not mean you're finished. It means you're being forced to become real. And that's terrifying because you lose control. You can't control people, you can't control outcomes, you can't control the timeline, and you can't control how long it's going to take. But you can control one thing: whether you fold or you build. And building looks like this. You wake up and you do the next right thing even when you feel nothing. And that next thing could be as simple as getting up and putting one foot in front of the other with no plan. And you keep doing that until you have one. And you tell the truth, no matter what, even when it costs you. You stop bargaining, you stop performing, and you stop pretending you're okay. You return, and I don't mean emotionally, but structurally. You return to alignment. And I'm going to tell you something that you're probably not going to like hearing. You might not get your old life back. Good. Because if your old life could collapse this fast, then it wasn't safe, it wasn't solid, and it wasn't finished. Because the fire isn't here to destroy you. It's here to burn out what was never strong enough to carry what you're called to carry. So if you're in the fire, don't make it worse by turning it into shame. Don't sit there calling yourself weak because you're bleeding. A man who feels nothing is the one in danger. So feel it, face it, and rebuild anyway. Take it slow, day by day, brick by brick. Not because you're trying to level up, because you refuse to die as a fake version of yourself. And if nobody has told you this, I will. You're not crazy for feeling the pressure. You're not broken because you're overwhelmed. You're not a failure because you're in the fire. You're in the forge. And if you don't quit, you're going to come out of this with something that most never get, a foundation that holds. And when it holds, you'll stop needing approval. You'll stop needing validation. You'll stop needing people to understand, because you'll finally know what's real. And if you're still standing, you're still in the fight. So don't quit in the middle of the burn, based in it. And when you can't see the future, do the only thing you can. Return to the next right step. And that's how you'll make it out.